Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Bol, my messages.
Prabhupada, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm
See
here in
you.
California.
Are you in California now?
I'm at Udayananda's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's on now. He's going to be on this too. But doesn't look like his video's on. I don't know what's going on.
I don't see.
Yeah, it says Rosemary Parker.
That's him?
That's his wife, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where are you? You at home?
Yeah, I'm at home. Yeah, we had the morning program, and I had to host this. They have an evening program now, just about finishing. So my wife and Priya are there right now. Yeah, nice to see you. How's your wife doing?
She's good. She's just went to the store. I don't know. She's supposed to be back by now, but she's getting some stuff for the Thanksgiving. We're doing a Thanksgiving dinner at these people's house here in this community that he's in.
Okay. Krishnaya is there with you?
She's here with also. She's upstairs studying. She's doing some online classes or something.
Okay.
She's been back from Kalakshetra for since May. She just got out the day before they closed down India.
Wow.
And they had closed the school, and they were going to close it one day, then they moved it up, and then they still haven't opened the school yet.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's still taking lessons from the teacher she had there in school, twice a week.
Good.
Yeah. So how's Priya? She must be big, right?
Yeah. She's taller than her mother now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No kid.
Yeah. So we were supposed to start with Yeah Nilo.
Yeah.
You were supposed to leave. Yeah. So
5:30. Is this Indian fashion? Everyone's late, or this is it?
No, it's just maybe because some of them are still at the temple because the temple program is just getting over. I guess they will join in. Yeah. So yeah. So
how does this work? I just sing it, or we can do regular kirtan, or what happens?
But if we back and forth, it will be pretty disruptive. There will be a phase lag. I think you just chant and then you can speak, and Ananda Prabhu is there. He should also speak.
Yeah, Udayananda was there, not exactly when Prabhupada left his body, but he was there for 3 weeks, up to a couple of days before Prabhupada left his body. And he was in Prabhupada's room for hours every day.
Wow, he definitely had much to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, massaging Prabhupada's feet and stuff like that.
You're coming across, your voice is a little cracked. Is it something on our side, Vrindavan?
I don't know. You sound good.
Do y'all hear the same voice, a little cracky?
Prabhu, your voice is also breaking up. It's the system, I believe.
System, huh? Vrindavan, are you there?
I don't see Vrindavan here.
Vrindavan, I think, it's under the Iskcon of Houston. Yeah.
Oh, I know Iskcon of Houston.
Yeah, it's a little cracky. Can you hear? Do you hear me well?
Yeah, I do.
The others, how do y'all hear this?
It's breaking, Prabhu.
It's breaking. Somebody else is there by the name of Radhika K. Do y'all hear us well? Yeah, there's some kind of yeah, I think it has to do with the system there. Let me call Vrindavan.
He says disturbance is there. Morning was fine, but she's sending messages, Radhika.
Yeah, disturbance is there. Even another person said. So I got a text. It said it's on your Vatsal Prabhu, but Pradeep is saying even I'm coming across a little broken, huh, Pradeep?
We
Yes,
can
Prabhu.
try by Srila Prabhupada and see. What do you want me to do? Turn it off and turn it on again or something?
Yeah, wait. Prarit, am I also coming out a little broken?
Yes, Prabhu, you are.
That's interesting. So maybe
Hi.
Hare Krishna. What I'll do, Prabhu, maybe we get off and then get back on. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, so I just leave it and then
Yeah,
try.
leave and then get back on. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it any better now?
Well, you're the same, just fine. How's that now?
You're still coming about the same. Are you still hearing the noise?
Now, it did offer me to go up to Zoom 5.0.
No, that will take some time to upload.
That's what I thought. I didn't do it.
How is it sounding now? Can somebody better? Okay.
That's bad.
It say it's better, but okay, all right. So y'all can hear Vatsal Prabhu, Mother Guru Bhakti. How do I come across?
You're coming across fine, thank you.
How
How you
about
doing, Raja Ji? So my message is
Mine, all good, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishnaya.
Vatsal Prabhu is still static on his side?
there they are.
Hare
How you
Krishna.
doing, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The other thing we could do, maybe do on your computer or on your phone, Prabhu.
I'm on a computer.
If you get through the phone, let's see how the sound quality. Do you
But
have
I
your?
don't have it downloaded on my phone.
Oh, Krishnaya has it.
I don't know. Yeah, you do like that.
You don't have. You have Zoom on your phone.
Yes.
Can I send you the link to your phone?
Okay.
Okay. Maybe you can. Prabhu, Vatsal Prabhu, you still have the same number. Same number, right? Phone number.
Yeah. 809-288-46.
So I'm going to dial your dad. Then you can just send
Over
it.
to Krishna.
I'm going to send it to
Right,
Vatsal Prabhu.
847. Just keep your finger there so it won't move.
Okay, I'm going to send the link to Vatsal Prabhu because it's going to be Okay, Prabhu, I just texted you in your phone. In your phone, you can forward that to Krishnaya.
Yeah. She's doing it. Oh, you're putting Zoom on my phone?
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay. Where's Udayananda? He should be, I see Rosemary Parker, but they're muted. How do you go, Udayananda? Are you there? Your name is, Rosemary's name is on your Shashri's name, but your microphone is muted. I have to call him up.
So if you start that, then you got to mute your computer. If not, there'll be feedback. Can you? We can't hear. We can't hear you, Prabhu.
Okay, now you hear me, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
No, I have to leave the computer. Okay, now I'm on the phone. Is that better?
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But I can't see anybody else on there.
Yeah, you have to go like this.
Oh, yeah, there's somebody there.
You go.
Oh, there's, yeah, Guru Bhakti.
Yeah.
But
People
where's,
are joining in slowly. Yeah.
okay. Josh, you gotta quit, get your phone, call Udayananda and see if he's on or what's going on. Yeah. Who? Tell him it's better on the phone. Haribol?
Yeah, Harbaugh, I see you on the computer. Can you see me?
No.
Hold on. Let's see. We're just clicking on the start video.
But you got an echo. Are you on the phone and the computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pick one. Otherwise, it's a big echo and stuff. And with me, the phone works better than the computer for the sound.
I'm going to use the computer.
Well, we'll see how it sounds.
Okay, he's going to unmute it. Unmute it like that. Oh, it won't. Yeah, we can't get it on.
Well, you're on the phone.
What's that?
I saw your name on it, Rosemary Parker.
You see me now?
Let's see. Udayananda Das, I see your name, but not a picture.
Okay.
He's not on video.
Yeah, you're not on video. The sound is much better, though.
Okay, so we're clicking on video.
He's in the same house.
No, he's not. He's far away.
Okay. All right.
3 hours away.
He's 3 hours away.
He's in Alvarado Hills. I can see Goraju Purusha Maharaj. I can see him.
Who?
Peter Metley.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're on there.
Oh,
There's Udayananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Udayananda Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
This is Rasikendra Prabhu.
Rasikendra Das from Houston.
Rasikendra.
Rasikendra Das. Yes. Thank you for joining us, Prabhu. I heard you have a lot of nectar to share with us, Prabhupada's disappearance pastimes.
This is Sarvabhauma Prabhu with the glasses.
Is that not, wait a minute, not Small Krishna Maharaj's son?
Yes.
I know who died from Dallas.
You don't remember me, Udayananda Das?
How could I forget you?
We
You're,
went to Sankirtan together.
you have a big of a false ego as the body.
Hare Krishna. I'm still alive.
Prabhu, you kind of sound a little faint, Udayananda Prabhu.
That's unusual for him.
Well, now he's muted.
You are
Uday, you
muted now.
muted yourself.
Does he have a button? Can we do that other time today?
You've muted yourself, Uday. You got to turn on your sound.
Yeah, it's not muted now.
Oh, we can't hear
There
you.
you go.
But we still can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't know what.
We can't hear you.
Still can't. No, you still can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Udayananda Prabhu.
Whoa. This is ridiculous. And that's why I don't. Oh, you know what happened?
I don't know.
Vatsal Prabhu, you can't. Oh, there you're back.
Yeah, I went to some kind of Zoom meeting phone call or something. All right, so what's happening?
So Udayananda Prabhu, maybe you may have to get out and come back in. I don't know. Sometimes your things, maybe you have to drop and then get back in. We can't hear you. Even though it says you're not muted, we can't hear you still.
Prabhu, have you checked your settings for your device? Maybe your microphone settings need to be updated to the right device.
But it worked a minute ago.
No,
Yeah.
I think maybe talking from another phone and the
Yeah,
audio.
he was talking from the phone, I think. That's why.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
So call him and tell him he doesn't even know what the hell is going on. He's not very computer minded.
Do you see let me see. You got to Udayananda Prabhu. Maybe you can drop off, come back in and say join by computer audio. When you join by computer audio, then it picks up the audio.
What do we got, an hour?
Perhaps Vatsal Prabhu, you want to call him? Maybe he can't even hear us.
Yeah, we're talking to him now. Krishna is talking to him.
He can hear you.
Oh yeah? He can hear us.
Okay.
He just doesn't know about this kind of stuff.
I think you should try to use the phone. It might be better than the laptop.
Yeah.
I told him that, but he didn't want to do that.
No. You have the Zoom. If you have get the Zoom app on your phone, then you can do the call through there.
Okay, perhaps we can start first, and meanwhile he's trying to sort out his technical things.
Okay. Krishna, you want to play cartoons or something? Sing with me. You play cartoons? Play quiet. Okay, Haribol. Yeya nilo prema dhanha karuna prachura Henu Prabhu Kota Gela Achaya Thakur Henu Prabhu Kota Gela Achaya Thakur Kaha Murashwaru Rupa Kaha Shanatana Kaha Shanatana Kaha Dasha Raghunatha Patita Pava Kahada Sharagu Nata Patita Pava Kaha Murashvata Yuga Kaha Kavira Kaha Kavira Dekha Kale Kota Gira Gura Nandara Dekhala Kalera Gira Gura Nandara Dekha Kale Kota Gira Ashane Katibo Nata Ade Pashivo Gauranga Gune Adire Kota Geva Gauranga Gune Adire Kota Geva Sri Sabasangira Sange Dekola Se Sangana Paya Kande Naro Tamada Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Hare Krishna. So he who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan Goswami? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhattan, Gopal Bhattan? Where is Krishna Das Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against a rock and enter into fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. Hare Krishna. Haribol, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. That's cool.
Nice to see you after a long time.
Yes, long time. Hare Krishna. Haribol. So, Hare Krishna. So, Udayananda never made it back, huh? Yeah, I don't see.
He's probably flipping out on the other end. Oh my goodness.
Bhagavad Chaitanya Das is there, but no picture.
Udayananda's there.
Yeah. We see Udayananda Prabhu on there, but now he's gone again.
Oh, there he is. Haribol. Hey, look at that. What are you, in the barber's chair or what is that? That kid, you're really coming bad. No, I don't think so.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
For joining.
Anand Yadava. Yeah, so many people with no faces. We need the faces. We want the faces.
They're impersonalists.
That's where they're trying to turn us all into impersonalists, these governments, including the government of Iskcon. I can't stand that the temples are closed. This is nonsense. We have no faith in God that Krishna will protect us. He will save us. It's like crazy. Anyway, that's just my political statement for today. So, Hare Krishna. So, today's the disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. And I was in Berkeley when Prabhupada disappeared. I was a Bhakta leader, had a Bhakta program going on with many Bhaktas. Actually, I had several Bhaktas who had waited for months to be initiated by Prabhupada, but then Prabhupada left his body because at one point they said that Prabhupada stopped accepting any disciples. I don't know if that was him or that was the powers that be that surrounded Prabhupada or whatever. But anyway, I had especially 3 devotees that were to be initiated by Prabhupada, but they never were because Prabhupada ended up leaving his body early. And 2 of those devotees have since left their bodies. But so I was in Berkeley, and Charu, who was the temple president, he went to India and to be with Prabhupada because we were starting to get the word that Prabhupada wanted all of his disciples to come and be with him in Vrindavan. But of course, that was Prabhupada's desire, but I guess it wasn't practical to all the leaders because then the temples would be empty because at that time everybody was a disciple of Prabhupada. So I stayed back to take care of the bhaktas and the temple and everything. And it was very depressing when we, to say the least, when we heard that Prabhupada had actually left his body. I mean, everybody was thinking that would happen, but hoping that it wouldn't happen. And the word was that, oh, Prabhupada's getting better, he's getting worse. It's just like it was so much going on at the time. But then Prabhupada left and all we could do was cry about the disappearance of our spiritual master. You all know how that feels. So it was a very unhappy time for a while, but then we started to recover and we had a very nice festival and a big Guru Puja. I remember there's a picture of actually, I led a kirtan for the Guru Puja. It was very ecstatic and all the devotees were very fired up with fresh, Prabhupada separation on their minds. It was very, very ecstatic. And then since then, we've been trying to be with Prabhupada through his Vani. Like one time when Vishnu Jan Maharaj was sitting outside the Los Angeles temple, he was reading Krishna book, just sitting in the corner up against the building basically on the sidewalk. And Prabhupada came by and said, that's real association. That's my real association. He's reading Prabhupada's books. And so Prabhupada's there in his books. He made that very clear, and he'll always be in his books. And so therefore, everyone can take advantage of Prabhupada's association through his Vani. I mean, not that his Vapu was not special. It was amazing. It was a transcendental experience to be in the presence of Prabhupada, but he's not limited by that Vapu. He's expanded himself in so many ways. I mean, in this modern age, he's expanded himself through videos and through sound lectures and through his books and through his disciples. So we can always get the association of Prabhupada. So what happened now, Krishna? What was that?
I think it's.
We still on there?
Yeah, we're still.
Okay. I guess we're still here. I don't know about these kind of things.
Yeah, we are.
But Haribol Mataji. Suranga Thakur was there, but his no picture. He had his mask on. I guess you can catch the coronavirus over the phone. I don't know. Okay, Hare Krishna. The China plague. Ananda.
Suranga Thakur is there.
Huh?
Suranga Thakur is showing his face.
Oh, that's good. Haribol, Suranga Thakur Prabhu, accept my obeisances.
Hare Krishna, accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Vatsal Prabhu ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Good. You're living over. You built your house at the temple yet? I thought you did.
Yes,
That's
yes.
That's where you are now.
Yeah, that's where
Where's Udayananda? Unmute your phone, Uday. You're muted. You're muted. This is ridiculous. Udayananda talks more than anybody in the world, and now he's muted. Uday, fix your thing. Just call him on the phone.
Wait, now it's unmuted.
Okay, now? No, it was for a second.
No, wait,
now,
just wait. Don't touch anything. No, just wait.
It's connecting to audio. So, no, not yet.
Connecting.
Still connecting. So Udayananda Prabhu was there with Prabhupada not when he actually left his body that moment, but a few weeks beforehand he was there. No, he still can't hear him. Call him up. Krishna is going to call you and teach you how to do this stuff. He has some very nice stories that he shared with us this morning about being in Prabhupada's room and presence for the couple weeks before Prabhupada left his body. Haribol. Haribol Mataji's. Hare Krishna.
You know, you're going to have to do it on your phone. Your phone.
Haribol Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Who's there?
I don't know.
I can't see them.
App on your phone.
Can't hear him either.
Yes. Brother Shachita.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is it cold there in Houston?
A little bit, not much. We just came from temple, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're starting to open the temple a little bit. He's muted again.
Yeah, for darshan.
Yeah, we have every evening a Kartik program every evening.
Yeah, I read about it on the email or whatever, the newsletter.
Let's see. Yeah, did you unmute?
Is he unmuted?
No.
There's something wrong with this. Maybe the best way to do this is he can call you, Vatsal Prabhu, and then you can put him on speakerphone, and then he can speak on video, but we will hear you through your phone. We will hear him through your phone.
Okay.
Krishna has got the phone.
There we go. So you can use that there.
Okay, go ahead, Uday.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There's some feedback.
But there's echoes.
Haribol Prabhu.
We did, then we do some books together. We went out Sankirtan together. Way back.
There's echo. What we can do is
I have to mute.
Okay.
if you mute, you will also mute him. So the thing is, maybe he can call me, and then I can.
So, wow. It'd be easier just to drive to Houston.
He says it would be easier to drive to Houston.
Okay, it's better. It's better. Now we can hear him without any echo.
Okay, yeah, better just stay over here. Can you hear now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you. Start talking.
So how many devotees do we have?
I don't know. I don't know how.
We have total of 17, including you.
Total of 17.
Well, total of 17. That would be 16 and one demon.
16 and one demon.
16 devotees.
Don't call me a demon, Adam. That's not nice.
And there are also some on the YouTube channel, so they're watching from YouTube.
Okay.
Still echo. Why is it doing this? Can you hear all right, Rasikandra Prabhu?
Yeah, no, that's echo. That's echo. What we can do is if he can wait. How could we do this? I'm sure we could do this.
Instruction. I gave a class and BJ. I was in.
Prabhu, Udayananda Prabhu, can you?
Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you say, Rasikandra Prabhu?
He can call me or ask him to call me on speakerphone.
Why don't you just tell me how I get my audio working? Can someone? You guys are all doing answers.
Krishnaya, can you text me his number?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
Prabhu, are you on the phone or on the computer, Udayananda Prabhu?
I'm on the phone with WhatsApp.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you on the phone and put you on speakerphone.
Okay.
Okay, get off the phone. I have Rasikandra's number on my phone. I could forward his phone number.
Krishnaya, can you text me his number?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to do that. Okay, I just texted you his contact. Just call the phone number, not the
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Now can you all hear him?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Can you all hear Udayananda?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear.
No feedback, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah,
How's that?
No, that's the end of it.
hey, there's Kamalamukha Krishna Das. Haribol.
Haribol, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
I accept my obeisances.
Except we are missing you in Houston.
How's your family?
Very good. I'm driving, so that's why I want to mute. And also I keep my video up. I'm going home from the temple.
Okay.
Haribol, can you
Thank
see
you
me?
for your
WhatsApp? Oh. Oh, okay. Hold on.
I think my wife, so we're going to use that sign.
Okay,
So listen.
My wife has her computer next to me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? She can't hear me. Okay, go ahead.
So we can hear you now.
Okay. And just go.
There's mute. Unmute.
So
You're unmuted.
we close this one down. Right? I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, you got to close one of it down. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Just take it in the other room. I already pulled the plug up. Okay, can you hear me? Hare Krishna?
Yes.
You can hear.
Much better.
That's all?
Much better.
I can't hear Vatsal.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I can hear you. Okay, there's Vatsal. Oh, man. This is making life simple, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, right.
All right. So, Omigyanan Tamarandashna Janang Jana Salakaya Chakshur Unminitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto his lotus feet. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharne Nirvise Sasunyabhari Pasaja Disatarne. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Can you see that? No? Can you see this, Prabhus? This isn't working.
No, but we can hear you, but we can't see anything.
Oh, no one can see anything? I can't show you. Okay. But everyone can hear.
Yes.
Okay. So I gave class today. We have a little temple in El Dorado Hills, California. And I talked to the devotees there. I may have to say many of the things that I said this morning, I'll say this evening. First of all, Srila Prabhupada, he built, I have a book here. I was going to show you the book, but that's okay. It says he built a house in which the whole world can live. So Prabhupada, he saw all living entities were parts and parcels of Krishna. Krishna says, Mamaivam so jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasastra nindriyani prakriti stani karshite. All living entities are my eternal fragmental parts and parcels. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which includes the mind. So, and we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna says, Aham bija pradapita. I am the seed giving father to Sarva Bhutanam, all living beings. So Prabhupada says Krishna is not God for India, for Hindus, or for Brahmins or Vaishnava. Krishna is God for everyone. All living entities are his eternal parts and parcels. So Prabhupada, he was on the Jaladuta coming, and he was actively demonstrating how all living beings are eternal servants of Krishna. And he was all alone, 1965. Prabhupada had 2 heart attacks on the Jaladuta. And he actually said when he came down the gangplank, Mukunda Maharaj told me once, Prabhupada, when he came down the gangplank, he was so alone that he didn't know whether to turn left or turn right. That's how alone he was. There was no one there waiting for him. He just walked off the boat, and he came and spread Krishna consciousness to people he didn't even know. So I was one of those people, and Vatsal was one of those people. And all of you are those people. He gave Krishna consciousness to everyone. And when you met Srila Prabhupada, it was never like meeting a stranger. It was like meeting your best friend. How many of you are initiated by Tamal Krishna Maharaj? Raise your hand. I can see a few. 1, 2. Sarva, you are right. So, yeah, this is a So very painful. For me, this is the most painful day of the year, for me. And I had the good fortune in October 1977, I was the Sankirtan leader in Detroit. So I went with the temple president to Sri Vrindavan Dham, and I got to see Srila Prabhupada for the last month before he left this planet. And it was inconceivably amazing, inconceivably amazing. Prabhupada, we see his blissful vapu when you look on the Vyasa san and see his murti. Prabhupada looks very healthy and kind of, fit. But when I got to Vrindavan in October 1977, Prabhupada had not even eaten in almost 6 months. He had not eaten solid food. So when I first got there, we were in our room for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, one of his servants knocked on the door and said, Srila Prabhupada wants to see you right away. So he wanted to see the temple president, Govardhan. And I said, can I go too? He said, of course. So we went in there and we went through Prabhupada's, like now it's like a book room, if you've been to Vrindavan, and then you go through that book room out into the courtyard. So we went through that room and there was His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And he stopped us and he said, I want to prepare you to see Srila Prabhupada, because when you see him, it will not be like you're used to seeing Srila Prabhupada. And he's very emaciated. And but we're trying to, Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, we're trying to encourage Srila Prabhupada to restore his enthusiasm to stay with us. And so don't say anything negative. That's one thing Maharaj said. And then he also said, and don't lodge any complaints. If you have a complaint about another devotee, save it. Don't just say things positive to Srila Prabhupada. So he said, and then he said, before we went in there, he said, don't cry. Don't cry when you see Prabhupada. So we went through his garden and then came to, if you know where his room was, where his bed is now in Vrindavan, he had his desk there. That's where he used to translate. But he was laying on the bed. As we came on the back side of his bed, we came around the side. We offered our obeisances and we stood up and we were shocked because Prabhupada was so emaciated. And we were standing at the foot of his bed, and he was going blind. He couldn't even see us, but he could see forms. He couldn't see even to the foot of his bed. But he was smiling, and someone was massaging his back. He was sitting up, and he said, oh, who has come? And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, oh, it's Govardhan Das and Udayananda Das from Detroit. And Govardhan had his chadar, and he covered his face, and he just wept quietly. And I wanted to weep too, but Maharaj told me, don't cry. So he said, so are you comfortable? Is everything nice in Krishna Balaram guest house? And did you get prasadam? Are you happy in your Krishna consciousness? Prabhupada was asking these questions. He kept on asking questions like that.
about our comfort. And never did he say, look at me. And then he started asking about the Detroit devotees. Are they happy? Are they getting enough prasadam? Are they preaching Krishna consciousness? Are they distributing books? And how is Ambarish? Ambarish was Alfred Ford. He joined in Detroit. And they also had just had a big wedding there for Walter Reuther's daughter, Lekha Shavanti. So we just started talking about, the wedding and this, and everyone's happy, Srila Prabhupada, and the whole mood of Srila Prabhupada was, how is your happiness? And never was he saying, look at my suffering. And then I actually had to cover my face, because then I started to cry, and then Govardhan composed himself and started talking to him. And then after about an hour, maybe not hour, maybe it was like half hour, Prabhupada said, so go see the deities, go see Krishna and Balaram. So we went back to our room, and we probably cried for an hour. And then I took a shower, and as I was walking past Prabhupada's room, Upendra came out and said, Prabhu, excuse me, could you do me a favor? And I said, yeah, sure, Prabhu, what is it? He said, could you come in and be with Srila Prabhupada? And I was like, what? It's like, could you get on this flower airplane and fly back to Goloka Vrindavan? Right? And I said, yeah. I said, but I don't understand. And he said, Prabhupada has been asking for all his disciples to come on, and no one is coming. No one is coming. This was actually a great tragedy in our movement, because the pure devotee is directly, he's the external manifestation of Super Soul. He's actually the mouthpiece of Krishna here in the material world. And for his pleasure, if you please the Guru, right? Yasha prasada bhagavat prasada yasha prasada nagatikatopi. Dayam stubam tasya yasha sri sandam bande goroshi charanarabanda. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one gets the mercy of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, no one can make any advancement. So we are living, glorifying Srila Prabhupada, and of course glorifying Srila Prabhupada's disciples. That my spiritual master is so wonderful that he can take conditioned souls and he can make them pure devotees of Krishna. That is how powerful Srila Prabhupada is. And as we were reading today, there's a talk of Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Charu Swami, who is a very good friend, was a very good friend of mine. I was in Florida when he passed away. And I had the fortune or the grim experience of having to see Maharaj after he left his body, and I put his feet on my head, and to hell with COVID-19. Actually, Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Swami, who was also very dear to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. I was also on Radha Damodar party for 2 years. I was a book distributor on the party. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was my leader. So I got the great fortune of associating with these Mahatmas, some Mahatmas are Durlabha. And So on the very day, on July 4th this past year, I was going to the hospital. I was staying in my son, Krishna Arjun Das, who's initiated by Bhakti Churu Swami, and myself were in the hotel across the street. And every day we'd go and bring prasadam for the nurses who were taking care of Maharaj, and we'd bring a whole plate of prasadam, cookies and different things. And then we left our number, and then on that morning at 8:29, the doctor called me up, and he said, "Are you the brother of Krishna Kumar, Kishore Kumar?" That's his legal name, Bhakti Churu Swami. I said, "Yes, I'm the brother." He said, "Well, I'm his doctor." And he said his heart has stopped. And immediately in my mind, I thought of Sarvashachaham Shriti Sanivisto Mata Smritya Jnanam Opohanam Cha. Krishna says, I am seated within everyone's heart. And from me comes all knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So Krishna is seated with all of us in the heart. And then Krishna just said, no, we're going. That's what I thought in my mind. And then I went, as he said it to me, that his heart is up, he says, what do you want us to resuscitate? And I said, absolutely resuscitate. You get him back to where he was when he went in there. You put him on that ventilator and you crushed his heart. And why wasn't he a candidate for ECMO? Anyhow, ECMO is, my wife's a nurse, so she's giving ECMO to these COVID patients, but they didn't give it to Maharaj. So that was very disturbing to me. But Prabhupada and Krishna, they wanted him back, obviously. So when you're reading this pastime, like I was reading here, where Prabhupada wanted to go to Govardhan, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Bhakti Churu Swami didn't want him to go. And he said, because you'll leave us. And then Prabhupada left on this day. And then Tamal Krishna Maharaj left. And now Bhakti Churu Maharaj has left. And even the devotee Upendra, he's also left. So I was saying today, this is the worst day of 365 days of the year for me. There's nothing more painful than being separated by the Vapu of Srila Prabhupada. But he has given us his Vani, and that Vani is actually, we say Gauravani, right? Namaste Saraswati Devam, Gauravani Pracharane. He's always chanting Gauravani, the words of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's destroying impersonalism and voidism. So, but I have to say, his Vapu was unbelievable. And just like, I can't believe that after being friends with Maharaj for 43 years, now he is gone. And I can't hear him laugh or hear his beautiful voice. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj is gone. It's a very sobering day. But here's the great news. The great news is that we can all be with them. And we can be with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And we can be with Gorakishore Das Babaji and Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji and the 6 Goswamis of the Vrindavan and the whole Panchatattva. We can be with Balaram. We can be with Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, where there isn't this world of tears. Krishna says, Abrahma Bhuvanaloka Punar Avatanojuna, from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery where repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode never takes birth again. Never takes birth again. So this is our great good fortune, that somehow or other we have come in contact with this Guru Parampara. We're in the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya that directly goes back to Lord Krishna himself 311 trillion years ago, when 155 trillion years ago, when Lord Brahma was born, because he lives for 311 trillion years and he's 50 years old now. So half of his life is gone. But he spoke this to Brahma. Brahma spoke it to Narada. Narada spoke it to Vyasa, etc., etc. And now we're getting it. And the amazing thing of Srila Prabhupada is he had, of course, he was directed by Krishna to write these books. And he also was directed by Krishna to give those classes. He taped all those classes. Myself, I only saw Srila Prabhupada about 20 times as his disciple. But I've listened to thousands of hours of his class, and I've read thousands and thousands of pages of his books. So that is connecting with Srila Prabhupada. And although when everyone can remember the first time when you saw Srila Prabhupada, it was a totally shockingly amazing. I joined this movement. I first came to the temple in 1972, and then I was initiated in 1973. And I didn't even see Srila Prabhupada until 1974. That was the first time I had not seen him. But I did see these. I saw these books. And I had the Shriyas Upanishad. And that was the first book I ever read, Shriyas Upanishad. And then the Perfection of Yoga. And then I read the Krishna book, and I was done. But I didn't actually personally see Srila Prabhupada till I was getting my second initiation in 1974 in Chicago. So I was Prabhupada's bodyguard. Back then I was a big man and quite strong and, not afraid to fight, especially for Prabhupada. So I just stood outside Prabhupada's door, but I was given second initiation by Srila Prabhupada, and we'd go alone into his room. And Prabhupada they brought the Vyasa-san from Detroit and put it in his room. And Prabhupada was sitting on his Vyasa-san, and Sudama Maharaj, who has also left his body, had this frankincense and myrrh, two big canisters of this incense that was billowing, and it looked like clouds of smoke were just billowing. So when I offered my obeisances, there was just a dim lighting there, but there was this whole cloud. It looked like Prabhupada was sitting on top of a cloud. He was like sitting there floating. And I offered my obeisances, and when I stood up, he looked directly into my eyes. And something happened at that point that had never happened to me before that point, 1974, and has never happened since. But when he looked, he was looking not at my body, but it was like he was looking through my eyes, because they say the eyes are the windows of the soul, that he was looking right into my soul. and he knew everything about me. At that moment, I felt completely like, don't try to fake it. Don't be pretentious, because he knows exactly what a nonsense you are. And I looked at him, but let me tell you, it wasn't a look of disgust, but it was a look of infinite compassion. I've never seen, it was just ocean of compassion. And that's when I really understood what Kripa Sindhu means, ocean of compassion. He had this oceanic look, and I could only hold his gaze for maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a minute. And then I had to look down, and then Prabhupada said, come close. So I came up to him, and he said, give me your right hand. And he touched my right hand, and he took my thumb, and he showed me how to do the Gayatri mantra. He said this and this, and then he told me, he said, repeat after me, Om Bhur Bhuva Svatat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo, etc. And at the end, he said, so you are chanting 16 rounds? I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. And he said, and are you preaching Krishna consciousness? And I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, I'm the Sankirtan leader in Detroit. And then Prabhupada lifted his index finger up, and he said, always preach Krishna consciousness. So that was a direct instruction. So I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. And then he said, all right. And I offered my obeisances. And the thing was, is I had thought, you know, it's probably billions of births I've taken, that now I am reaching the association of a pure, unalloyed devotee of Krishna. And I thought, so many births I've had. Now, I must seize the moment. I'm in front of a pure Mahabhagavad and Uttama Adhikari. And I thought, I've got to ask him a relevant question. I couldn't think of anything because I'd read his books and I had already agreed on everything he said. And so I offered my obeisances, and then I said, mustered all the strength I could. I said, Srila Prabhupada. And he said, he looked at me kind of startled and said, yes. And I said, can I touch your lotus feet? And as soon as I said it, I thought, boy, how trite. I thought, boy, I was embarrassed at the fact I just said it. But then Prabhupada looked at me for a minute, or not a minute, but a few seconds. And he said, that is not necessary. I said, all right, Srila Prabhupada. I offered my obeisances and I left. And when I went out of his room, Vaisheshika and Surdas were there. And they were like, what happened, Uday? What happened? Did you say anything to Prabhupada? And I said, yeah. I said, Prabhupada, can I touch your lotus feet? And they said, oh, no, you're such a nerd. What a dork. But there was actually a method to my madness. I thought, because at that time, when I first joined, they did not have Guru Puja. It was introduced in 1974. And I just love Guru Puja. The lotus feet of the spiritual master are the only way we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to those lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and attain the mercy of Krishna. So that comes from taking the dust of those lotus feet. So that was what I was thinking. But then Prabhupada said, that is not necessary. So I was like, So then the whole trip, I was with Prabhupada for about 5 days then. And every time Prabhupada would come out of his room, I'd offer my obeisances. And he'd put his foot about 4 inches from my face, my head. And I was like, oh, but I dare not touch it because he said it wasn't necessary. So I kind of harbored that desire. And then in 77, when I went into, Upendra said, Prabhu, will you come into Prabhupada's room and be with Prabhupada? And I said, of course. So it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I went into Prabhupada's room, and Prabhupada was there. He was translating Bhagavatam, and I was sitting at his feet, and every now and then they would say, "We bring this devotee here. Uday, go get that devotee." And I'd run out and go get him, bring him back. And then I'd sit at Prabhupada's feet. And next to me was Trivikram Swami. And the Prabhupada was being massaged. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was massaging Prabhupada's head. And on one side was Bhakti True Swami was massaging Prabhupada's arms. And on the other side, Pendra was massaging the arms. And Trivikram Swami was at Prabhupada's feet, massaging his feet. Because Prabhupada was just, there was not much flesh left on Srila Prabhupada. It was almost like skin and nerves and bones. It was so horrible. But his feet were beautiful, beautiful lotus feet. Anyways, I'm sitting there, I'm chanting my japa, and I'm looking at Trivikram Swami, and he's massaging Prabhupada's feet, and then he is rubbing Prabhupada's legs, and then he'd bring his feet back and rub up to his toes, and then he would bow down and he'd put Prabhupada's feet right on his head. And I thought, wow. The lotus feet of the spiritual master is the only way we can achieve pure devotional service. And I thought, this Trivikram Swami is really getting the mercy. And so I was thinking, why is he getting all the mercy? And I was thinking, I was a brahmachari. And so I was thinking, oh no, I should be humble. I shouldn't even be in this room, but somehow or other I'm here. But he kept on massaging for hour after hour. And I thought, wow, I was a Sankirtan devotee. So we used to always have to figure out a way of asking people to give a donation. And so timing is everything when you're doing that, distributing the book. Right at the exact moment. And by the way, can you give a donation to help? We're helping kids in Bangladesh or West Bengal. We have a lot of brahmacharis that are hungry. Anyway, so I'm thinking, I'm praying to Krishna, because Trivikram Swami, he can be kind of grouchy. So, he can get mad at you and he might throw me right out of the room. That's what I was thinking. So I was thinking, how am I going to approach Maharaj to ask him if I can massage Prabhupada's feet? And so I'm there chanting, Krishna Balaram, please help me. Nitai Gauranga, please help me. And then all of a sudden, a miracle took place. And Trivikram Swami kind of leaned back and he yawned. And as soon as he yawned, I knew exactly what I was going to say to him. So I crawled over to Maharaj and I said, excuse me, Maharaj, I know you've been here for so many hours and you look like you're very tired. And I was wondering if it was possible, if maybe I could possibly massage Srila Prabhupada's feet. And I was just ready, and Maharaj, very heavy sannyasi, turned his head, started looking at me. I thought he was going to burn me to ashes. Looks at me and goes, okay. And so he showed me how to massage Srila Prabhupada's feet. And he said, start at the toes and then the ball of the foot, come down to his heel, very gently, because Prabhupada was, there's just nerve endings, and then rub his calves And you do that. And then I did that for 2.5 hours. And I took Prabhupada's feet and I put them on my head. So I just wanted to get the dust of Srila Prabhupada's feet. And then Prabhupada let me massage them for 2.5 hours. And I got to come to Prabhupada's room every day for 2.5 weeks. And every day they let me massage Prabhupada's feet. And at one point, I was massaging Prabhupada's feet, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj was massaging Prabhupada's head. And Prabhupada said to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he said, who is this massaging my feet? And Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, oh, it's Udayananda Das from Detroit. And Prabhupada went, oh. And he looked at me and he smiled at me like as if he remembered when I asked to just touch his feet. And when he smiled at me, all the hairs on my body stood on edge and I was in total ecstasy. And he just poured like this mercy. So that was a very sweet thing about the Vapu. The Vapu and the Vani, they're both transcendental. I like the Vani coming out of the Vapu the best though. That was the best. So now Prabhupada is with Krishna and Tamal Krishna Maharaj is with Prabhupada and Krishna. Bhakti True Swami is with Krishna and Brahmananda is with Prabhupada and Upendra is with Prabhupada. And it is a funny thing, this world, we put so much stock into living in this material world. And it will, and just, it's explained like this material existence is like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. And you know, all of you Prabhus from India, because you've seen actual lotus leaves. They're very waxy. And a little drop of water can slip right off so easily. Slip right off to death. And it isn't a question, you know, if we'll die. It is a question when. And Prabhupada used to say, no one knows who is Prabhupada said, the oldest person is a man who is just about to die. So who can say who is the oldest man? It can be a 10-year-old boy. So we have to be very serious about this Krishna consciousness because, you know, yam yam vapi smaram bhavam chya jantante klevaram. Whatever you think, whatever a man thinks at the time of death, that state of being he will attain. So by this Sangha, by association, by Sankirtan Jagya, we associate, we purify, and we say, come on, death, anytime, take me if you have. We're not worried about dying of this virus. Janma Mricha Jara Vyadi. We know that this world is full of birth, death, disease, and old age. They're not telling us anything new. It isn't anything new that people are dying. 650,000 people died of cancer last year. And 680,000 people died of heart disease. So being afraid, we should be afraid of Maya, not afraid of a virus. We should be afraid of Maya. The only thing that can conquer Maya is the holy name of Krishna. Harinama, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gatiranyata. Hare Krishna, Prabhus.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Udayananda Prabhu, for those very, very intimate and ecstatic offering to Srila Prabhupada. Very nice. So you should write a book about this. Really, Prabhu, it's just very, very instructive.
You know what's interesting? I was actually thinking maybe to write a book. I would call it A Conditioned Soul's View of Pure Devotional Service. or associating with pure devotees and being a completely conditioned soul. Because then people would relate, hey, I'm also a conditioned soul.
Yeah, very nice. So thank you so much for joining. Vatsal Prabhu, thank you for connecting Udayananda Prabhu to this very nice program here. Very nice. So would anybody else want to speak? It's almost going to be 9 o'clock out here in Houston.
Well, I'm sorry if I took too much time.
No, that was good. That was good. We have never heard you before.
Oh, okay.
So can anybody else wants to offer clarification to Srila Prabhupada? Okay.
Udayananda Prabhu was speaking about his ecstasy of being in Prabhupada's association. And of course, he said that he was in Prabhupada's association about 20 times. I probably had Prabhupada's association half that many times. And also, I was initiated before I ever saw Prabhupada. So, but the first time I saw Prabhupada was in San Francisco, and all the devotees had gone to the airport to pick up Prabhupada. I couldn't go. I don't remember what I was doing, but for some reason I couldn't go. And probably helping Jayananda with the Rath Yatra or something like that. But then when Prabhupada was going to pull up to the temple, I was amongst all the devotees. We were on the front steps of the Valencia temple and waiting for Prabhupada. And I remember all I could do was cry. All I could do was cry. Prabhupada, I hardly even remember Prabhupada getting out of his car and getting out and just walking in the temple, past those devotees. But that's all I can remember was just thinking of Prabhupada and just crying about it. It's kind of stupid.
That is not stupid.
Anyway,
and just if anyone knows Vatsal, he's the least sentimental person on the face of the earth. So for him to cry, he must be a pure devotee of Krishna.
Yeah, right.
He is definitely. There's no one who's more serious than Vatsal.
But then on the other hand, when I saw Prabhupada in Mayapur that one time, and Prabhupada, would go on his parikram around the deities in the temple, and ring the bell, and devotees would be doing kirtan. It was ecstatic, everybody's just going crazy. And then I wasn't into all the crowd, so I waited by the pillar in front of the deities. I said, well, Prabhupada, because when he got in front of the deities, he would, turn around or fold his hands or something like that. So I said, well, I'm going to wait right here, and Prabhupada, then I'll be able to see him. He'll see me maybe. And sure enough, Prabhupada came around, and about a foot from me, he raised his hands, and then the devotees went, they just went into kirtan heaven, I guess it's called. Brahmananda was there.
Upper stratosphere.
Yeah, Brahmananda was there right by Prabhupada, and he was big Brahmananda at that time, and he was up in the air, 2 feet in the air. Everybody was 2 feet. And then Prabhupada turned around and raised his arms, and it was just. And then it was just like that at Rath Yatra one year. That famous picture of Prabhupada with his arms raised up on that big stage. You could see the back of my head in that picture. In my seat, I was right there about a foot from Prabhupada. And when he raised his hands, the whole crowd that was out there, like hundreds of people out in the field, they all went crazy. Even the karmis, they didn't understand what was, but they just were caught up in Prabhupada's, mood, and they all went crazy. Anyway, that was Prabhupada. He could just make everything go into the next level. or beyond this world, this material world.
During that time, in 1976, Vatsa Prabhu, when Prabhupada was ringing the bell, we go around. The whole Radha Damodar party was there. That's when Vishnu John Maharaj left, and so we were having there was kirtan competition. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we were in that. Yeah, we were in
the LA temple. There was the LA. Hold on. There was the LA temple, New York temple. There was the what Guru Kripa's, what was that? Namhata, right?
Yeah.
Kripa and Yasodananda there. Then they had the German yatra, they had the British yatra, they had the Brazilian yatra, they had the Mexican yatra, they had the Australian. I remember they had we were all in competition. And then there was the Radha Damodar party. And the Radha Damodar party defeated all the other kirtan parties. and Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, all right, you have to dance like madmen. Anyway, so it got really wild down there. I mean, it was incredible. You know, we had about 20 mridungas and about 22 pairs of cartels, and there was over 100 boys, and we were like 22 to 28 years old. We had a lot of energy, and the kirtans were just, we were like, you know, trying to compete with each other, but we were also ecstatic. And when Prabhupada come down, everyone would just dance, you know, like it was Gaur Leela. It was amazing. And there was one devotee, I won't mention his name, but he was very conservative and he was kind of a grump. And it's not Vatsal, so don't go there. He didn't like the big dancing. He just liked the swaying 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and everyone falls asleep, right? So he goes, he was a sannyasi at the time, but he later had some problems. But so Prabhupada was in his room, and the Radha Damodar boys were there, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Vishnu John Swami was there, and Madhavisa from Australia, and all of these devotees. And so he stood up and he said, Srila Prabhupada, the kirtans are out of control. And he says, what is this? He goes, the kirtans, they're out of control. They're crazy. They're going crazy down there. He goes, it's just not right. They're going crazy. And we're all like, uh-oh, now we're going to get it. We're going to get it from Prabhupada now. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, you're right. When you become a lover of Krishna, you dance just like a madman. And we all went, Haribol! And he kind of like, you know, slithered off into the corner. But so Prabhupada gave the seal of approval. So we were very ecstatic.
Yeah, it's true. There was a couple of Indian devotees, local devotees, Sarvagya and Krishna Kirtan that would do the 24-hour kirtan. And then when evening artik would come up, there'd be about 6 or 8 young devotees playing mridanga. And you couldn't lead 3 words and they were going nuts. You know, it wasn't like you could start off slow and work up a kirtan. You'd start off and before you knew it, a snap of the fingers, they were just playing like wild men. And these guys that were leading the 24-hour kirtan, they were trying to lead Gaur Artik, and they just had to quit. They just couldn't do it. They were old men. You know, Sarvagya was like this real tall, skinny guy, and they just had to quit. It was going so crazy.
Vatsa Prabhu, were you in Mayapur in 75?
Yes, I'm 74, 5, 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you remember when Prabhupada was on the Vyasasan and he went into that trance?
I don't. I've heard that many times, but I I don't know why. I don't remember.
Yeah, Prabhupada was chanting Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, and then he went Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi, and we chanted, and then he just dropped his cartels and he closed his eyes, and the whole temple room was just like ecstatic. He was like pouring out this prema bhakti, and he was in like total trance. And then Hamza Duda started playing the mridanga, Jaya Prabhupada, and then Prabhupada came out of the trance, and they're like, "What are you doing?" So then the devotees got in a big fight with each other over that. They were saying, "Why didn't you just wait till he came out?" And so they, Shruti Kirti told me that when he went back with Prabhupada into his room, the devotees went and the GBC had a whole meeting about what we should do when Prabhupada goes into trance like that and into ecstasy. And so they actually asked Srila Prabhupada, when this morning in class, when you were leading that kirtan, you went into such ecstasy, and we were wondering what we should do. And then Prabhupada very humbly said, "I don't do it that often." That's all he said. "I don't do it that often." Anyways, yeah, so this is a taste of the full nectar for which we're always anxious. Yeah. Okay, listen, since you're, here's one, wait a minute. I want to say one last thing, because you Houston is Tamal Krishna Maharaj's temple, and I know you devotees have built that beautiful, spectacular temple there, and which I visited once with Vatsal there a few years back. But
all right.
I will tell you that Prabhupada, we were talking today how Prabhupada wanted to go to Govardhan, and they said, okay, some people said, let's go. No, hurt Prabhupada. Well, one day Prabhupada actually said, he was in his room. Prabhupada was very, very sick. And he said, I want to see Krishna Balaram. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Uday, you carry Prabhupada. And this other devotee, I can't remember, he was from London. I can't remember his name. Manohar, I think his name was. But anyway, so we put Prabhupada on his palanquin, and the devotees hadn't seen Prabhupada. Even the devotees right there in Vrindavan, even though they were living there, they never saw Prabhupada because Prabhupada was in his room. So all of a sudden, Prabhupada is coming out, and there was about 200 devotees there, and they were having this kirtan, and they were jumping and laughing and crying, and they were just so ecstatic. And we came out of Prabhupada's room, carried him, and we went around Krishna Balaram Mandir 3 times. And then we went in front of the deities, and first in front of Gornitai, and Prabhupada would look at the deities, and then he would bow his head like this, and we'd all offer obeisances. And then we'd move him to in front of Krishna Balaram. So, but when he got in front of Krishna Balaram, Prabhupada was like transfixed, looking at Krishna Balaram. And there was just like this, it was and everyone's looked at Prabhupada, and then they looked at the deity, and the deity seemed to be looking directly at Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was looking at them. And they played the entire Govindam take. Prabhupada just was just in this, just completely immersed in this samadhi. And then a second tape, they were playing, and almost played to the end. And then just before it ended, this big tear, I was standing about, 1 foot from Srila Prabhupada, looking at his face, and this big tear came out of Prabhupada's eye and came down his face. And all the hairs on my body again stood up on edge. It was amazing. It was just, and then Prabhupada went like this, and we offered our obeisances. And then we went to Radha Madhava, and then we took Radha Madan Mohan. And then we took Prabhupada around the temple, and we took him back to his room. And the devotees were just totally in another world. And when we brought him in, everyone was so exhilarated. And I'll never forget this. I'll never forget Tamal Krishna Maharaj going to Srila Prabhupada. And first of all, he said, Srila Prabhupada, the devotees are so ecstatic. And Prabhupada said, I am also ecstatic. And we all started laughing. And he goes, of course you are. You're always ecstatic, Srila Prabhupada. And then he says, we're going to do this every day. And then we're going to take you to every holy place in Vrindavan. We'll take you to all the temples. We'll take you to Govardhan. And then we're going to go all over India, to all the holy places of India. And he says, and then we'll take you to London, and then we'll go to New York, and we'll take you all over the United States to all the Rath Yatra festivals. And we'll have these tremendous kirtans. And he spoke, he was so emboldened and so effusive in his love for Prabhupada. The devotees, I was ecstatic hearing Maharaj talk like that. And Prabhupada had this big smile on his face. And I will never forget that speech that Tamal Krishna Maharaj gave. And I was very, very grateful. And as you know, Samahatma Sadurlabha, such a great soul, it's very rare. Anyways, I can end there if anyone else wants to say something.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else wants to speak? It's kind of getting late. It's 9:11 here.
9/11. It's 9/11. Oh my, the World Trade Center.
Anybody? Well, my phone is going to die here any second. I got about 1% left. So thank you very much, Prabhu. It's nice to have your association after so long.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vatsal. It's nice to see you in so long. I haven't seen you since this morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Raghava Chaitanya Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Raghava Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Here's Brahmaradas.
Oh, Hari Bol, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
And there's Kuberadas.
Yeah, he was there earlier.
Can you actually see me? Because I can't see myself.
No, we can't see you.
Okay, good. There's Kamalamukha.
Yes, he's not there in person. He was driving his car home.
Already here, yeah.
No, I'm home now, Prabhuji. I'm honoring.
No, he's home.
Oh, there he is.
If he's driving, he's driving his house.
Oh, he's there.
All right.
But
he's driving his house is like a spiritual airplane. He's driving.
It's like, yeah. Wow, it's like a flower airplane. What was it? Devahuti and Kardamumuni.
Okay, Haribol Prabhus.
Very nice to have your darshan, Prabhu. Thank you so much for enlivening us with the great lecture and kirtan.
Haribol.
Thank you for your associations, everyone.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Haribol. Tap to speak.
Thank you, Vrindavan, for arranging all this Zoom call. And
So anybody wants to speak? Maybe we can another maximum 10 minutes. Local devotees.
It's hard to top those devotees that have direct experience with Srila Prabhupada. It's kind of a different level of realization. But I think it's wonderful how Udayananda was very close to Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and he was in Dallas for some time and was doing Sankirtan, and he's a very friendly, loving kind of devotee. I think he's quite close to Prema Bhakti also, who's also from Michigan.
Yeah.
And Udayananda had some nice stories about Bhakti True Swami. I saw him somewhere, and he said he was, at one point he was going to live in India in conjunction with Bhakti True Swami. Then he saw Bhakti True Swami in Florida, apparently near the end of his pastimes, and so I thought it was quite a nice blessing to have Udayananda on.
Yes.
Thank you for arranging the call.
Thank you all. So if nobody's speaking, can we? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.